Hello everyone! We are live now. We're getting ready to do some live commentary of the Sony E3 2018 press conference. So, looks like we're getting started. They're going to do a sizzle reel as usual. I need to take a quick break before here because I got ready for this at the last moment. But, I also did out my notebook, so...
Hey guys!
Oh, this is interesting.
Good evening everyone, and welcome. And thank you for making the time tonight to come to church.
Right?
This fulfills your obligation for the coming Sunday, for those of you who need to know that. But thank you for coming out. It's great to see the congregation as large as it is tonight under this single tent. And for those of you who may be a bit apprehensive because you remember that movie Kingsman,
even if it's not the denomination,
it doesn't end that way.
Still find it a bit offensive that they're doing this in a church.
But again, thank you. And as you can see from this evening, here again at PlayStation, we've decided to mix it up a little bit in the way that we're doing our E3 presentation this year. You know, we look at what the stories we tell and the things that we want to impart to our fans here with us and their fans on the live feed worldwide. And that changes our design ideas around what we can do for this show. So tonight, we're going to have, rather than a bombardment of new creative, we're going to take all of you on a journey deeper into some of the key titles we've talked about before, but we're going to talk about them in a different way tonight, a deeper way, so you can learn about what's going on with these games and what's coming up in the future. You know, what we look at here at Worldwide Studios with inside Sony Interactive Entertainment, we really want to take our love for gaming and make it sing very loudly. It's a gaming industry, it's sometimes called, but certainly inside our studios, we see gaming as a vocation. It's a calling. It's what we do. It's what we have to do. Our teams of creatives and studios and designers, they have stories to tell and things they want to show you and places they'd like to take you. That's what we're trying to do here at PlayStation. This coming year is going to be all about those kind of games that we can deliver to you in a way that's going to blow your minds. And tonight, we're beginning here in this tent, this church tent we've created here in Los Angeles to let you start that journey with us and let us tell you our stories for the next hour or so.
720p now, so hopefully we won't lose the broadcast again. It's very interesting that they decided to make this more intimate, other than changing the venue. In case the mic was muted before, the only thing I said before about this was, I guess, was I would have liked to kind of have the live orchestra opening, because those are always really cool. This is still pretty cool too, but it wasn't, you know, it's not as, I guess, showy, for lack of a better word. I don't know, I couldn't think of what I wanted to say, but anyways. So, and then other than that, they're doing this in the church, so I think maybe it might be one of those rock churches or something like that, because otherwise I don't think that a normal church would usually let them use their sanctuary for this. And also, even if it is a different denomination, still is kind of a little bit offensive to see them having it in church, but I guess we'll roll with it. But I am kind of curious why, though. Pretty sure I picked that up the first time I said it, though. But I muted the mic at one point, and I think I might have accidentally unmuted it, because when I came back it wasn't muted. Okay, this is why they're doing it. So, I'm very curious if this is going to be like stuff that's setting up the game order, because Ellie's still sort of young here, but I don't know, in that the trailer they showed for it last year, or was it last year? I don't think it was last E3, I think it was actually at like basing up
I hate these things.
Game Awards or something like that.
Tell me about it.
Your old man really did
PlayStation
it.
Experience, maybe, I think is when it was actually.
What happened?
That was
A
like,
big lecture about my patrols. Don't go here, don't go there. It's funny how involved it gets whenever your schedule go out.
Yeah.
actually,
She's putting on quite the show.
I give you guys 2 weeks until you're back together.
Not gonna happen. She
anyways, Ellie looked a lot
something?
different in that previous trailer,
Make it 1 week.
but here she's
Ellie.
still.
Hey! What took you so long?
I think mine just
I'm here,
in the
aren't I?
way it was.
Tina?
Like this is more like what a cutscene would look like, and the other stuff was just in-engine footage. So
Don't forget we leave at first light, so
Yes, ma'am.
get some rest.
I guess now I'm
Yes,
seeing
sir.
the commonality a little bit more, but she might even be a tiny bit
Come on.
older here
Why don't you start with me?
than she was
Okay, I have a very
in
serious
the reveal
question
trailer
for
for
you.
The Last of Us 2, Part 2.
How bad do I smell? Like a hot pile of garbage?
Oh, okay.
Oh. How about that?
I haven't played the first game.
Gross.
I'm pretty sure she's the character from the first game, right? Or is she just Ellie's random girlfriend? But this time I lowered it. Yeah, it's down to 720p at 30 FPS. So. Hey, it's her. I recognize her. She was from that trailer. Anyway. Yeah, as I just got done saying I didn't want to have to record it. Well, now I'm recording. I'm not live streaming. The broadcast got a third time. Like, if I can't stream at least 720p, 30 FPS, like, forget about it. So it's just gonna have to take a long time to upload. But I lowered it down to.
Watch yourself.
I think the resolution's still whatever resolution it is here. So I lowered the settings down to medium. So the bit rate is cut in half and. Got 30 FPS for this video, so hopefully it should upload a bit quicker.
Wolf, she came through here.
And also I still have to put the
Double back. Go.
Bethesda conference stuff together since we had stream issues with that as well. So that could take a long time, but all the live stuff I would assume should be uploaded no later than Wednesday evening, and then the rest of the coverage should be out by the end of the weekend. I assume there's going to be lots of dynamic events like that in the game, because Uncharted 4 really impressed me with what they were able to do with it. So. Oh, last bullet. I don't know, I could probably put one of the downloads and try the broadcast again,
I have eyes.
but... So far, I definitely like what I see. I know people like Marshall and who else? I think even maybe Diego. Did Diego play it? No, I think he played. But I think both of them think that the game is the Last of Us is quite overrated. But I think because they thought like the combat and stuff wasn't engaging enough. But this one seems like it'll be a lot more expansive. I'm seeing a lot of similar things to Uncharted 4 that I didn't see in the previous game compared to like the earlier Uncharted games. So I think they are trying to make the combat a little more interactive. Or just like more versatile at least. More engaging. Before it seemed like there was a lot of like sneaking around and just it was very character driven game. Of course it still will be, but it seems like this time there might be more quote unquote set piece moments. Ooh. How did she take that exit? Obviously because it's a video game. Well, I guess it's not a full-blown axe, it's like a smatter's hammer, which is she's out on her own now.
See, I told you. He should be terrified.
Terrified that she's a lesbian? I'm not exactly sure about that. Pregnant lady in the first row. So I might, because of, I didn't watch Ubisoft's press conference because I was sleeping.
That was
so I
a
wanted to get ready
new
for this
look
and
at The Last
had
of
a
Us Part 2.
very
We're
busy
here
schedule
live
recently.
in Los Angeles at the PlayStation E3
But
showcase. We're taking a quick intermission.
I might do a video
while
like
folks
this
move,
where I
along
react
to the
to
next
it,
part of the
you know,
experience. We'll have a little bit more to share on
tomorrow
that
and the
later.
day after.
And I am joined by my
But I'll
good
probably
friend,
more than
Ryan
likely I'll
Clements.
probably just
Hello,
watch it,
Mr.
take
Schumann.
notes on it, and
How
then
are
I'll
you?
do the
I'm good. It's such a
normal
pleasure
recap
to be
and
here at
review
the
for you
PlayStation
guys.
Showcase. And it's going to be a huge night for Worldwide Studios a little later when the showcase resumes. And what better guest to have for joining us about Worldwide Studios than the chairman of Worldwide Studios, Mr. Sean Layden. Hello,
guys.
sir.
Yeah, good to be here.
I thought you were just on stage. How did you get up here so fast?
We created this pneumatic tube that I was dropped into and
flung
shot
right-
right across to the studio here.
Right
Yes.
over here. Well, it's
Yes.
good to have you here.
Well, it's
so-
great to be here, and I think that was a very powerful start for our E3 program for this year.
That's right, and there's much more to come, but I do want to zero in on The Last of Us Part 2 here
Yeah.
just for a moment. You know, as chairman of Worldwide Studios, you work very closely with Naughty Dog. These guys need no introduction.
Indeed.
And I'm curious, from your perspective, where is their head at when it comes to developing this game?
Where's their head at? I mean, they are everywhere. They're looking at what can do in the next iteration of the Last of Us series, and I think what we saw tonight, I mean, that piece of content was so impactful. I mean, the whole relationship between Ellie and Dina going into the combat sequence really shows that they're pulling out all the stops over at Naughty Dog, and they're going to have a very broad and ranging game that's not going to make you only work at it as a player, but you're going to have to just think as a person what you're coming up against.
And I can't wait to see more of that, and that was first gameplay we saw there of The
Yeah.
Last of Us
I
Part
don't
2.
really know if I really
looking
like the way they
obviously
do this, 'cause
incredible.
this is very
And
similar
speaking of
to the way
incredible, I mean,
they do-
Worldwide Studios
they did
lately, I mean, it's
PlayStation
just been
Experience.
unbelievable. Horizon,
It was
God
okay.
of War, which needs no
It's not what I'd
introduction,
want for
and Detroit Become Human. I mean,
E3.
what is the secret, and what are you doing over there at Worldwide Studios? What's going on there?
The rule number one is do no harm, all right? Right. In a lot of ways, my job is just to move the boulders out of the road to make sure that creative talent can get where they need to go. You know, provide backup, provide scope, you know, provide generalized, you know, advice about where we can take this as an industry and as a gaming culture. But honestly, we've got 13 studios worldwide. We try to give them as much creative control as possible and just help support them through to their vision. That's kind of what we've been trying to do here for the last dozen years or so with Worldwide Studios. And I think right now, certainly in the PS4 era, you're seeing a lot of that coming into play right now.
That's great to hear that. And you know, I mean, speaking about making fans happy, I mean, I think there's a question that I've been getting a whole lot, and it has to do with God of War. You know, it's a celebrated game and sold extremely well. It has a huge legion of fans. And one of the things I wanted to mention was, you know, I get a lot of tweets about New Game Plus. You know, is this something that you and Santa Monica Studio are evaluating for God of War?
You know, it's crazy. With the advent of social media, we get a lot of real-time feedback from the fans and the community, and we listen to that. And God knows my Twitter feed is filled up with a lot of stuff that we can talk about here or not talk about at all. But it's all important. We take it all seriously. And New Game Plus was something that came through really strong and really hard through that kind of feedback loop. And I'm happy to say today that the teams are working on it, and we should have some more updates on that. We'll put that through the blog, but it's going to happen.
All right.
Definitely.
As someone who miraculously finished God of War with a 2-year-old at home, that makes me very happy. I will somehow find more
scary,
time.
But okay.
I will find time to get. He wasn't watching.
Okay, thank God.
I want to confirm that.
Kids don't try this at home.
Asleep. But yeah, thank you so much, Sean. And it's great to hear that you and the amazing team at Santa Monica Studio are making that happen.
Hey, if we can create functionality and features that allow people to spend more time in the worlds we build, that's by definition a good thing.
Excellent.
Fantastic. So New Game Plus, that is confirmed. That is coming to God of War. We'll have full details on PlayStation Blog shortly. We have a lot more to talk about too.
Yeah, and actually, Sean, I wanted to ask you about that. About a month ago, you did something a little bit out of the ordinary for our team, and you kind of came out and talked about the 4 main games that we would be highlighting tonight's PlayStation Showcase. I was wondering what the thought process was there.
Sounds like every year we try to let the stories we have to tell design the experience we're going to create. And this year, we felt that what we really want to do is take people on a journey deep into the content, deep into the 4 big pillar games that we're working on right now, and get them to see a bit more about the stories we're trying to tell and the way it's going to be expressed and what they get out of it. It's a really wide range of titles there, anything from The Last of Us 2, which you just saw right now, through Death Stranding and Spider-Man and Ghost. So this year, I wanted people to know that don't come here expecting to have some big flashy new idea come out or some big surprise come out. Come here and sit with us and walk with us as we get through to see the background stories and the deep inside of the games we're working on.
Okay. Wonderful. And we do have a lot more.
I kind of see what they're doing because they basically blew their
in the showcase
load, so to speak, last year. They revealed a lot of stuff in advance.
Well, they're all fabulous, and I think the teams are really crushing it right across the board. But one thing I would say is there's one of the games that we're having out today that will be playable in 3 months. And available in stores, and that's our favorite web slinger,
of course,
Spider-Man. So we're going to see a lot of that tonight, and I think the folks at home should be happy with what they're going to get.
Awesome, thank you, Sean.
Sean, thank you so much for dropping by. Always a pleasure to trade notes with the chairman of Worldwide Studios.
It's great to see you guys. I'll head back to the pneumatic tube station, though.
All right, please do.
All right.
And
wear the helmet.
We do have a lot more in store coming up in just a few minutes as the E3 showcase continues. But in the meantime, we also have some other updates for you while we wait during this short intermission. So I say we kick it off with a look at the latest from the world of Call of Duty.
Some good maps. This is the last one. I don't know what this is called. It's like a training ground. Okay, fine.
Get immediate access to Back in Black maps in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 only when you pre-order Call of Duty Black Ops 4 from PlayStation Store.
Welcome back. We are having the PlayStation E3 showcase kicking off in just a few more minutes. We're in a short intermission period here, but we've got some good stuff to talk about. And we've got some good friends as well.
Yeah.
Meredith Molinari and Ramon Russell. Welcome.
What's happening?
That's
good
right.
to have you guys back.
It's good to be back.
Friendly faces right before the showcase.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent.
So I say we keep this moving here, and when it comes to Call of Duty, we know that a bunch of remastered maps from Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 are making their way to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 this October on launch day. But what we just learned here is that those maps, those classic maps, are coming to Black Ops 3 as well for those who pre-order Black Ops 4 on PlayStation Store.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. But what if I don't own Call of Duty Black Ops 3?
Well, that's where it gets a little more interesting, my friend.
Oh.
So tonight, we are actually doing a surprise PlayStation Plus game drop, and that is going to be Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3 is coming to PlayStation Plus later tonight.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, very nice. This is why I love E3, because not only do we get to share awesome news with our audience, but PlayStation Plus subscribers get a little treat.
Get a little
tasty treat.
Right, little mid E3 supply drop for you there.
There you go. That was perfect.
You know, we've been sharing a lot of good news. We got to share 5 really cool announcements last week when we did our countdown, kind of ramping up for tonight's big showcase.
That's right. We had the countdown to E3, and that was 5 game reveals and updates over a span of 5 days. A lot of great stuff announced. Let's take a quick look back at the highlights.
What is this? I have to figure out what happened. Okay, wake up. Focus.
Yeah, I didn't see
Remember.
From the creators of Fee and Flipping Death.
Look like you've seen a ghost.
That's the spirit. Comes a heartfelt story in VR.
But really, who are you?
I wouldn't really count this as like. I guess it just showed.
Welcome back. We're just a few minutes away from the E3 PlayStation Showcase. I mean, when I say a few minutes, I mean we're really. So let's keep moving here. There was a lot of great stuff here. Oh, and we could see the crowd is seated. The people are about ready to go. This show's about to continue, about to move into the big event.
Yeah, it was great to see the countdown stuff, but I do think that there's like maybe one more thing we can sneak in there before we cut away to the showcase.
Yeah. Yeah, let's squeeze it in. Let's squeeze it in. Okay, so this next franchise boasts a huge loyal community of nearly 6 billion hours. Incredible stat.
Yeah, they play that so much.
A lot.
They do. And we're going to take a first look at the next chapter right now.
A lonesome star in a bitter sky. I hear the hungry ghosts calling out in the night. Just a couple victims of this brutal prize. Am I strong enough to let things just die? Spark alive. But if there's nothing on the other side, why can't I leave?
So I think so far all we got was, I guess, the opening.
Yeah, that was a powerful new look at Destiny 2. Forsaken is coming out September 4th on PS4. A lot of great enhancements and content for that one. And
Yeah, it looks really good. There's a lot of buzz about that Gambit mode coming up, and guess what? If you're at E3, you can play it at our booth.
Not too bad.
But
Not too bad.
there's barely any time because we're about to get to the showcase.
That's right. We are really seconds away when it comes down to it from the rest of PlayStation's E3 showcase. Thank you so much for watching. We've got a lot more in store tonight.
The recap and review, though, as I said,
but for now,
I think it's almost time.
I think it's almost time. Should we get to it?
I think why keep people waiting? Let's get to it. We have so much more to cover.
Okay.
Basically covered the stuff that I found noteworthy.
So let's check it
instead
out
of going through like pretty much everything they
right
showed,
now.
like in previous years. Although I might mention this stuff, but I won't like share my thoughts on it if I didn't really think it was interesting. I might just have a section at the end where I'm like, and then some of the stuff that I glossed over was stuff from this, you know, all that stuff. So just know that if I miss anything, most likely, or if I don't talk about anything, it's not because I didn't notice that it was shown. It's just that I didn't find it noteworthy, or I wasn't personally interested in it. I assume this is for like maybe Rise of Setsuna, although this background doesn't really look like that. Kind of looks a bit more cartoony, but it might be. I can't tell. I mean, as you go at it, it's maybe it's starting to look more like maybe it's supposed to look photorealistic. Yeah, so far I think we just got like that opening music segment. Last was part 2. And then talking about how it's going to be more intimate, and no big surprises here. And the God of War news, Black Ops 3 news, Twin Mirrors kind of looked interesting, and Destiny 2. I think that's all the big stuff so far. I was trying to catch up on the notes thing because I wasn't taking notes on the Last of Us thing from the get-go, so I jotted down some things that I noticed. I'll probably have more stuff because I only jotted down a little bit and talk about it a bit more. Anyway. Yeah, even if it is like more like smaller, on a smaller scale, I still like it that PlayStation incorporates this music. It almost kind of shows, in a sense, where the studio's head's at. Where like if they're making a game, especially if it's got lots of cultural significance or historical significance, that they've like, here's a sample of the type of stuff we looked into to like make this game accurate. So like this is Ghost of Tsushima, which I'm pretty sure it is. Then, you know, like, hey, we did a research into the culture. Here's just some of the music that you hear in the game by somebody who knows how to play the instrument well. So that's cool. Of course, I guess last year they kind of went on a smaller scale too, but there were still like several people up on stage. People up on stage. I think it was like 4 or 5 up on stage playing instruments, but it had like still a little more grandiose. Mongol Invasion Day 9. So it's interesting. I wasn't actually sure if this game was going to take place with like a widespread or like large-scale conflict in the background, but apparently is. I mean, the Mongol invasion, that's pretty big. So who knows, we might see some like massive large-scale combat areas. I mean, clearly this is the aftermath of army that just came through here. Although I assume they didn't walk through this particular area exactly because otherwise I'd expect like the wheat field to be more trampled.
Come!
This is, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the very first look we have at gameplay for this game, so before, but not so sure it's going to be a sleeper now. I think it's going to get a lot more attention before it's probably going to be crazy about it. And this is also Sucker Punch's first game in like a really long time. Oh, I think it was the last game since, well, sort of a really long time, since Infamous Second Son. And then before that, the last game I know of from Sucker Punch is like I think Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, the fourth Sly Cooper game. I might be mistaken about that, but yeah, we haven't seen much from Sucker Punch in a while.
Bastards! Enough! Was next summer.
Enough! Oh, he dead. That was impressive. Your guy is very well trained. He's so much faster than these soldiers. They do have any swords in the game that are as fast as your character. That guy seemed like he was faster. But if they do have any of them that are that fast, that's gonna be some crazy combat. Because you're gonna have combat. Because you're gonna have to have some crazy fast reaction times to deal with that. So casual.
Jin, you're late.
You're impatient. Where's the monk?
The bastards beat me to him. Now they're torturing him at the temple.
Come on.
See, he's wearing a red,
You think the monk's a hero?
tunic.
We need him, Masako.
They don't see him bleed. So we can wipe the blood off on his sword and it doesn't look
down.
We can take them.
No. Remember Sago Bridge? We strike quietly. They kill the monk.
Even without surprises, he just ripped the guy's.
I'll guard the exits. Just get that monk.
And even without any big like reveals or surprises, this is still pretty big, pretty important because I mean, we haven't seen gameplay of this game yet. It looks really good so far. I'm pretty sure this is a, well, actually no. Is this Sony exclusive? Let me look that up real quick.
Please, I do not understand.
Yeah, so it is a, just wanted to check to make sure, but it is a PlayStation exclusive. So, Marshall got a PS4, just like a week ago. If any of you guys have, I mean, people that have watched the number of videos on the channel, especially podcasts, you're very familiar, or movie reviews, you're familiar with Marshall. Anyway, I told him that because of that, I had, and he's mainly looking for single player games and stuff. So I told him I'd recommend like the top 5 PS4.
Stand aside, Jin. You betrayed my family.
But this is definitely one that I'm gonna, if he doesn't already look into it himself, I'll recommend this one to him to take a look at.
If we fight, Mongols win.
Because the play's gonna be pretty good.
They already won.
And it's also in a, I mean, even if the gameplay was like sort of like Assassin's Creed, which is not really, I don't even know why I brought up that comparison, but I just think the general combat might have to do a little bit to differentiate itself. Although I think it's already differentiated enough. But like the setting, the theme of the game is already like really unique. So okay, so this is how they're. You might attack almost as fast as your character. Next part attack. Looks at the same speed. It looks doable. I can definitely tell you, I'd be preemptively blocking more than I usually do in games. Usually I don't block and I just go for the counters. But I'll occasionally block. But if there's like lots of enemies at once and I need to create space, I'll block and then evade and get back and go out of target. Now I'm getting flashbacks to Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Final boss battle there. Awesome. Yeah, metal! A banana playing metal. That's something I didn't think I'd see. In dreams.
The oldest house
This is made in dreams.
is a shifting place. There are rules and rituals. You can keep traveling deeper. Being able to manipulate time. Fly though too. So, is that the name of the game? I would say it was like made with dreams or something like that. Mouse or something? Cat? Or it sounded like a small rodent. go small, go dreams, keep running.
Stay back, sir! I got this! Officer, you need help? What are you doing? Get off! No! Get off of me!
No, because I'm pretty sure she's also so I'm not sure. Is this like a platform for like small indie devs to create games? It's like a kind of like an engine or something. I'm very confused to what Dreams is now. That's with Resident Evil, but I mean, I didn't realize that they were transitioning away. It's possible that Dreams thing was a standalone thing by itself, but I was under the impression that Control
all citizens.
had to do with Dreams.
And don't make my mistake. If you see one of those things, uniform or not, you do not hesitate.
Whatever it takes to save the city.
Surprised you made it this far.
Need info on my extraction. Survival's your responsibility.
God damn it.
Will you help me?
Of course. It's an impressive display of strength. But we never meant for this to happen.
It's coming. It's coming back!
Now back to Dreams again. Okay, now I'm gonna pay attention really closely so we can figure out what's going on. Oh, beautiful song. Beautiful, my dude.
From Squatch Games and the co-creator of Rick and Morty.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Bathtub Guy, and we're here at E3 to take some looks at this new game I'm going to show you right now. Trover Saves the Universe. Let's give it a look. Oh, whoa, there's some action platforming stuff in this little piece of shit. I'm the Bathtub Guy. I'm always in my bathtub, but, you know, that's not about me right now. It's about this game. Whoa, look at that. That's exciting footage I just saw. Oh, I'm playing it right now. Look at me. I'm a cool cucumber over here playing this cool game.
That's why they put the disc over there.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Somebody call 711 because that's the emergency dial number for this in this weird part of the galaxy. Because this is a sci-fi based thing. Help! He's got electrocuted.
Yeah, not much enthusiasm for that one. Kind of thought some of the jokes they were going for. Didn't really laugh too much, but the idea behind it was kind of interesting. It's like they were almost making fun of a lot of like tropes, kind of like E3 tropes.
Yep, you always did like this
Type tropes
world.
and all. Well,
Still,
and just like,
it's a real shame we don't have a bigger ship.
I mean, it is a Disney title, so yeah, those graphics are very good recreation of confused. Like, is Jack Sparrow actually like or all of a sudden this kid who I have no clue who he is? You know, this is Marks, like the main character.
You back in the organization?
Yes. Surprising, isn't it?
Jack, don't you give this creep the time of day.
Sora, stand down. It's the code. Mustn't strike a pirate aboard ship when said pirate offers to confabulate.
I'm looking for a box.
Get them!
Sora!
Well, when they showed this at the Microsoft conference, I was speculating that I think they would only, it seemed like they'd only have original Disney characters in the game, but obviously now they clearly don't have. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean I think was originally like published by Disney, but it's like.
And the Unversed collected enough screams and sadness from those children.
Yeah, and the whole time they were trashing our company in the process!
You're following her.
Maybe she's one of the 7 pure lights we need. The new 7 hearts.
Now, set your heart free.
And at the end, you'll finally realize what destiny has in store for you. In fact, your reward might be right around the corner.
Hey, Axel.
Huh? Hey, liking the look.
Some crazy hair.
Cut your hair, too.
She looks like she's underage, too. What a creeper. It's jail time for you. Just don't go too far. There's not a dream scene. I think that's the only dreams related stuff. Okay. He's turning around an awful lot. Okay, so
Some border breaches.
yeah, I don't think Control had anything
The
to
man
do.
who delivers. Tears. Chiral allergy. So, you have dooms, like me. What's your level?
I've got the extinction factor, but I think you got me beat.
You can see them, right?
No, but I can sense them.
Wanna come work for me? Must be tough out here on your own.
I can't help you with that. I make deliveries. That's all.
Crates are just like magnetically attached or being pulled towards the thing, because otherwise like those fall off. He's like, oh no, I gotta put them back on my hover cart. My hover, whatever. I don't know what you call it, like a hover board, hover plate. So far, this looks like. So I mean, so far it's not really like cryptic as the other ones. We're seeing some more concrete stuff of what the game's gonna be. much, but it's still really unclear what the game's gonna be like. I mean, so far this is the only gameplay stuff we've seen, so it's like, oh wow, you get to walk around carrying stuff. It's backpacking simulator. Hideo Kojim's backpacking simulator. Oh, see guys, this is what happens when you try to cross a river and you use your stuff. Not a good feeling. We're gonna have a mini game where you have to remove a broken toenail. It's very strange though, because they're hand/feet prints. They're very large, but the creature's gait is very, very slow. I mean, they don't take very long steps. So I'd be interested to see one of these, like, uncloaked.
Headed into town.
Or just so you can see what they look like and how they actually walk. This is very strange.
Watch yourself. Those things never stay gone for long. The time flow fast forwards whatever it touches. But it can't wash everything away. The past just won't let go. I'll see you around. Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam, what's your status? Beryllium density is still increasing.
My status is fucked. There's tons of them.
Can you sit out the rain?
No, they're closing in on my position. I have to move before they realize I'm in here.
Sam, if one of those things eats you, it'll trigger a void out. You'll come back, sure, but the surrounding area will still be a crater.
I got an idea.
Did another, yeah, it's one of the baby. Curious what his plan is and all this. Oh man, he's shut down here.
crypto riot a day keeps the time fall away.
You're too late. You still don't know who I am, do you?
Who are you?
I think Lindsay Wagner's her. Or not. Her. Maybe it is this one. Maybe because of the use of the way they use the language in this, maybe the invisible things are supposed to be spirits then. KT, is that for Koei Tecmo? Probably. Neo 2. I think Dreams will be a fun little game when it comes out. Just be something that, maybe you have people over, it's like, just mess around, make something cool, and maybe show them the creations.
Their comms must be down. What's your status?
Already here. Yuri? I thought you said it was secure.
It was. Let's go. Maybe it's not as bad as it looks.
Love the optimism. But in my experience, when it looks bad, it's usually worse. Look out! Yuri!
I'm slipping!
Hold on!
Getting dark from the very beginning.
You okay?
What happened to your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
Welcome to the park! Just in time for the fireworks!
Looks like we made parole, boys! I'm out!
Electro. Why
is he letting everyone out?
I'll head for the main control center and see how bad the situation is.
Crazy.
Got it. I'll go join the party. Everyone just quietly go back into your cells and lock the door behind you. Okay? Please?
No, Spider-Man doesn't really kick very hard. I mean, he's 7 more strength than he
Fish in a barrel.
because of his spider powers, but the kicks do sound almost like they're all being blocked or something. They're kind of muffled. So, sounding maybe by so far.
Hope you like surprise, Spider.
I didn't really notice that in the stuff they showed last year.
What is he talking about?
Hey,
But,
what's your status?
Me?
Feels like maybe the
Trapped in a prison
combat
with every criminal I've put away in the last 8 years.
could feel a bit like too weak, not
Electro
satisfying.
must be working for someone.
Watch out! Your spidey senses are too
This is too good to be true.
Scorpion, can you hold on a minute? I was in the middle of a phone call and it was business.
Charge him! Don't let up!
Lost you for a second there. You okay?
Not really. Electro, Rhino, and now Scorpion are all on the loose. What's going on in the rest of the prison?
Camera system's almost up. I'll give you a sit rep soon.
Okay, I'll keep tracking Electro.
360p now.
Come on, Spider-Man. I thought this was a chase. Gotta stop this guy.
Let's just go straight to 720p right now. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to handle it.
If you tell me who you're working for, I'll go easy on you. Can't stop me. But I'm flattered that you still try. Nobody ever takes me up on that offer.
Gotcha. Vulture! Long time no see. We're going to have so
This
much
is the premise
fun.
of the whole game. Kind of
Sorry, no
interesting
time to
because
talk.
it's a lot now, kind of like the Batman games, where all the criminals are broken loose and they're around the city, and Batman has to go around and lock them up. So it's like all the Spider-Mans, all the Spider-Man's
Looks like the
nemesis.
entire population of the raft have escaped.
All the Spider-Man don't seem
That
like
means
they're
5 of your worst enemies that are
breaking
now
out.
on the
We'll
loose.
have to lock them all up again.
For a second there, I
Imagine
thought
there's
you were
something
serious.
to the game more than just that.
am serious.
Just with like the
I have
main
to go.
story
Some of
or
them are
main
heading to the
villains,
city.
but
This is nuts.
it seems like this is gonna be the like main premise of the game. Unless this is later on in the story, but I assume this is pretty early on in the game.
Keep chasing. Party's almost over.
Also, I assume the mic volume is good because I made some slight tweaks from how I had it with the Bethesda conference.
Electro, stop!
I'm actually going to lower the volume slightly more just in case. I mean, we've already
How do you like my new suit?
gone pretty far in.
Dashing.
But
Where'd you get it? It's an exclusive club.
I just want to make sure I can sit back comfortably. Rhino. That guy. Yeah, no. He might actually be created specifically for this
Said
game.
not to kill him. Good
But
idea.
probably not.
In fact, we don't have to do this at all if you don't want to.
We definitely want to.
It'd be nice if they could have like made that interactive. So it's like those scripted type of fights in like a lot of other Sony exclusives like Uncharted or God of War, where they put you in action and really adapts dynamically and like shows you getting your ass kicked, but you feel like you're actually being able to put up a fight. I just say that because I fear that there's going to be an over-reliance on quick time events in this game. Even if the rest of the game is good, I think they might overuse them. But we shall see.
Oh, Ellie. I think they should be terrified of you.
This is?
You do not hesitate.
I mean, they've been going over an hour now. I think it's about an hour and 15, hour 10 so far. So. Yeah.
That was the PlayStation E3 showcase. A lot to take in. There was a ton of great worldwide studios titles. We actually got a little more to share here coming right up. We're going to have first live gameplay of Marvel Spider-Man right here, just a couple of minutes. We have a new game to announce. We have some other stuff to talk about too. What a show.
Oh my gosh.
Top highlights, go.
Oh,
There's no time.
Oh my goodness, Ghost of Tsushima looked absolutely incredible. That color palette was insane.
Yeah.
Did you?
Honestly, I think that probably stole the show.
I'm ready. It's just the embodiment.
I'm ready.
Last of Us Part 2 stuff was pretty good too.
Oh, Resident Evil 2. Come on, RE2. That looked so good. I know a lot of us fans have been waiting for that one.
I think Ghost of Tsushima was a lot more impressive, especially since it was.
I know what this is. And then as soon as he turned his head, I was like,
expected,
yes!
And you get that
so good.
RE4 style over-the-shoulder camera action. It's kind of like the ultimate dream if they were going to remake Resident Evil 2. That's what I would want. So awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Nice and gory.
Yeah.
As Meredith said backstage, Death Stranding. We now have more questions.
Yes.
Way more questions.
More questions.
It looks as if, I mean, I don't want to make any promises, but it looks as if we were getting kind of an allusion to a lot of gameplay in there, and kind of what the character of Sam is going to be doing in this very unusual world that is inhabited by some very unusual and scary things.
And people consume strange and unusual
bugs.
That was...
Babies continue to be a theme.
Yeah, that wasn't a myth.
Don't know what we're going to find out there, but yeah.
So a ton of great stuff in the show overall. I mean, Neo 2, that was a crowd pleaser. That was one that was great to see get out there. We got an update on Kingdom Hearts 3. We got a lot of other great stuff. We had a new Remedy game. Remedy's on the way. Control. Really
I guess
stylish trailer.
Keep
really
recording here because
I want to learn more about that one. I mean,
this
like
is still sort of part of the conference.
I don't know what I was looking at.
If they go on too
really
long,
stylish.
we will.
I would expect no less from Remedy. But I got to say, I think my favorite was Marvel Spider-Man.
Spider-Man looked
that was incredible. We have these legendary.
I mean, the only real major stuff that we had, it's like Last of Us 2.
I'm missing some. Who else were there? I mean, just one
Ghost
after
of
another. That was Electro.
Spider-Man was not.
Death Stranding.
No, it was pretty rough. It was pretty rough. So
Neo 2
we're gonna see
and
live gameplay of that in just a minute or
Kingdom,
two here.
Well,
but I say
really
we actually
Hearts,
take this moment.
Neo
to
2 and Resident Evil.
Do it.
2.
So nonchalant.
Those are like the two things.
So you guys know From Software.
We seem to be.
I'm aware of
that. They have created a lot of great games over the year. Well, they have been busy working on.
I guess initial reveals. I don't.
VR. And it is quite a departure from the kinds of games that we sort of know them for. But it's very, very interesting, and I'd like to see the first footage of that right now.
Cinematic stuff. So, okay. Now I assume this is going to be...
Aren't you excited? You're going to be a fairy.
Shoot. Why can't I remember...
and live in the world where time stands still. Where nobody can see what you're up to.
Did they already reveal From Software's next game? I feel like I know about it and I've been talking about it, or talked about it. Maybe not, maybe I just heard that they were gonna be unveiling a new game. Wasn't paying too much attention to them, so I don't think they said what it is. I just thought they said, oh, here's a look at From Software's next project.
Okay, Decine, that's From Software's new title coming to PlayStation VR. Quite a departure, very artistic. Still don't know a ton about how it actually plays yet, but certainly a compelling debut, I would say. And speaking of compelling,
it was like
let's get to that Spider-Man. It is time.
We have some folks from Insomniac.
Yeah, they already showed it before.
Brian, Adam, gentlemen, welcome to the program. It's so great to have
Sekiro Shadow Strike.
So thank you guys for giving us your time.
Of course, of course. Happy to be here.
And also, congratulations, kind of closing out some of the show there with Marvel Spider-Man. How does it feel?
It's surreal. We've been working on it for a while, so it's nice to be here. And obviously, we showed you. People wanted villains, so we decided we'll give you a lot of villains. And now, and the next question is, can we play the open world? And Adam's gonna show off the
That's right.
New York City.
I mean, I don't know, Sid. What do you think?
Let's dive in. What are we talking about here?
We're going to boot up the demo here, and this is essentially one of the first playable demos that you guys are going to be showing off.
Let's take a look at this. Pretty much. So, I mean, if you think about, the game is, you know, a lot of people are like, last year's E3 was like, well, was that like just a linear level? No, like that was our Manhattan, that's our New York City, and it happened to be on like a main story mission. But in between, like things like you saw on the raft, or we showed that back at last E3, you can just swing around New York City and have fun.
Let's go to that footage because we have it running here on the main monitor. We'll go to it in just a second. This is the beauty of
let's see what it is.
Yeah, this. Oh God.
Oh, this is great. I got my own little TV. This is perfect.
Yeah, I got it all.
Adam's doing a fantastic job so far. It's been really good.
So first of all, you're actually playing this right now.
That's right.
And I do want to emphasize how beautiful this game is.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, Brian, tell me a little bit about what you guys want to show us this evening.
So I think, I mean, the big thing is, again, you know, I think that part of the Spider-Man fantasy is to swing around New York City and, you know, to have, you know, not only just a great story, but have a bunch of different activities in that world.
Right, so we'll go
till, you know, give people.
We'll go for up to 10 more minutes, and then if not, you know, wherever we're at there, I'm just going to end the stream. Or not, I'll end the video. It's not a stream anymore.
But at the same time, part of that superhero fantasy, especially that Spider-Man experience, is living within New York City and seeing that. So, you know, Adam is one of.
I mean, they did what they said they were going to do. They didn't really show anything new.
And,
I mean, not anything.
Again, he's just showing off some really awesome stuff that
substantial.
As you get better with the game, obviously, you know, we wanted to have a pick up and play feel, but at the same time, have a level of mastery and to really. Show off the improvisation that we've really been talking about a lot since we announced the game.
I'm digging this, like sticking dudes to walls and to the floor and stuff. That looks really satisfying.
I mean, I think the thing that's been really fun in these last, you know, I would say last 6 months since we got back from the holiday break was every week I feel like I'll take the game home or I'll be playing one night and then I'll come in and say, wow, guys, I didn't know you could do that. So I think there's a lot of that, there's that sandbox nature to it as well. So, I mean, obviously you can, you know, we're going to teach you mechanics, but we want you to experiment with, you know, his acrobatics, his
really
webs, his gadgets, his suit powers. So combining all that stuff really allows for a lot of different gameplay and a lot of, you know, Spider-Man's a very expressive character, and we want players to be able to express that, whether it's in traversal or in combat.
It's gorgeous.
These animations, these animations are just blowing my mind.
Well, hopefully we'll get the best web swinging in a Spider-Man game yet.
For, you know, just fluid motion. I mean, did you guys take a lot of lessons from your previous games and really like hone in on those when you were developing?
I mean, I think animation's definitely been one of the hallmarks of our company. You know, from from Spyro to Ratchet to Sunset Overdrive. And I mean, you know, I remember when
I guess they didn't put the thing in yet that says
out
of how many.
It would be great to see.
It probably will be in the game. They probably just like, oh, can't tell them how many collectibles we have.
You waved your phone around.
Probably because they just haven't implemented that yet because they haven't added everything.
And we just injected our personality.
I mean,
but also,
they have.
You know, what do people want?
They have the collectibles in the game for one. I would think that'd be one of the last things they do. So before like bug fixes and polishing and stuff like that. So
the top things
the game definitely seems like it's on track for releasing later this year.
They want to feel like an Insomniac game. So I think that's the thing we've been really layering on in this last year is to have that. It feels like an Insomniac game as much as it does a Spider-Man game.
And I love this traversal. I mean, just the fluidity of just moving over great distances very quickly. It looks like a lot of fun just moving around, and that's when you know you've got a great game.
Okay, so so you know how I kind of said like experimenting, but like
guy's dead.
You know, I mean, game development, you know,
that guy's dead. Spider-Man just killed somebody, guys.
And what I used to find myself doing was just.
I didn't see any web. Did you guys? I didn't see any web to catch him.
When I play other games, I just walking or running or or even taking a car. It feels so more natural now.
Who knows? Maybe it's just because it's
swing around like Spider-Man.
not
so
in a finished state. Maybe they're
it's
going to add
definitely
that
one of those
in
things
where
that has that, again, just like combat, that pick and play
where
feel.
he'll like
want players to
it'll lock
have
you
a
into an
level of
animation where
mastery,
you save them
as they
from
play and get
What was
better.
that? Hold on a second. That's very interesting what you're saying there.
So like I said, so Adam showed off, I think he showed off the tripwire. It's basically a gadget that you can either attach to
okay,
the geometry
we
and the
see the
enemies
web
walk by,
that
they'll get
time.
like grabbed.
Although it
and
actually
sucked
looked like
back.
it broke
But
or
you can
disappeared
also
at the
attach
end.
it to an enemy.
But,
when an enemy walks by, they kind of
I didn't see the web the
slam
first
into each
time.
other.
That is amazing. This is
Yeah.
so cool. What's this focus meter about?
Yeah, so the focus meters basically there's kind of a risk reward. As you build focus, you can use it to heal.
Sid's having a religious
It just looks
experience.
incredible.
Okay, thank you. The
That's a
team
cool,
works really hard on it.
cinematic
Really,
camera
really
shot.
hard.
Clearly.
And the idea is the focus is kind of a way
Yeah.
to it's a risk reward. Like I said, you can either heal yourself or you can kind of if you fill up the bar a certain way, you can actually pull off a finishing move. So, you know, as you play the game, you can kind of say, well, do I want to maybe heal myself real quick, or do I want to wait for that really extravagant move to kind of take the guy out instantly?
So assuming they're talking about this up here, but it looks like you can do something when you fill up one of them. So you can, I guess, have 2 charges.
Thank you. You got to be precise.
I got it. One of the first questions I get is like, is it an origin story? I'm like, no. That was like after we decided that the webs were definitely attached to the buildings. We decided it's not going to be an origin story.
But you know, back to the combat. I mean, Spidey's experience. He has access to a lot of different techniques and technologies. How do you balance out his experience with the fact that you don't want to overwhelm a player with options, right? You want to make it approachable.
You know, I really that comes down to our combat team, our traversal team,
like
and
this guy
our
right
designers,
here.
like Adam, and really going, okay, you know, kind of handing that stuff out over the course of the game. You know, finding those right spots where you kind of, okay, we're going to teach you how to punch and how to kick.
Stun
and how
seems
to
like it'll be
punch
really
guys up in the
annoying.
air and use your webs. But then
Not
we
sure how I
layer on
feel
things like
about it just yet. I think I'd have to really
and then
play the
suits
game.
and the suit powers. And it's kind of giving over time. If we
It
just,
seems
you know,
really
one thing with
disorienting,
something
which
like
of course is the
E3, you know, we
point,
want you to feel great,
but-
right? But there's a lot to learn really quickly.
I don't know. I just think it might be like too much of an annoyance to the player, and people are going to be like, oh, got stunned again, and it seems like it might not be
as the
that
game goes on, we want you
easy
to
to
master those
avoid.
because the game's only going to get harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Sid, what do you think?
I gotta say, this game is
Beautiful,
looking
right?
absolutely gorgeous.
Massive
This is,
bundle of
I mean, this is
dudes.
just. I mean, it was looking spectacular to begin
So it
with,
looked like
but
this
is
was
on
an
a totally
actual,
different
like,
level.
side
And I can
activity
see
where you
that
go to the roof and
I can
clear
see
'em.
that polish though. That's the thing, and that's what comes out in that final few months of development.
Yeah, I mean,
What
you guys watched the press conference, right?
Sure.
You saw all those games, those first-party games.
One thing I hope we'll see is
they all
dynamic
have a
events
level
in
of
this game,
polish,
though.
and to be in a
I don't want
press
everything to be
conference with
like
likes of a Naughty Dog,
preset.
Sucker
Okay,
Punch,
go to this
Pushing
location, do this
Construction.
activity. I like to see some dynamic
we are
stuff,
very honored to be, and we know
stuff
there's a
on
certain
this
level
scale, like on the
of
scale
that
of
people expect from a PlayStation game,
miscellaneous
especially a first-party game. So
side
we want to be
activities that
considered right up there.
just happens randomly.
And not to mention also from the Marvel, you know, Marvel fans expect to have that perfect experience.
Of course.
May I just ask real quickly, you know, as we're starting to wind down here, from a personal perspective, I mean, what's it like for you and for the team to be able to kind of look up at the big screen and see your game after all that time, all that work?
I'm known as a crier, so it takes a lot for me not to get choked up. Like right now, they're playing the theme song to the game in the background as we're sitting here, and I mean, this is an amazing industry, and to be part of it is one thing, but to work on something you truly love, it's something that when you were a little kid, thinking,
I kind of hear the song a little
oh my
bit.
God, could I ever work on a
Doesn't really
Spider-Man
sound like
game, let
theme
alone
song
video
material,
games,
though.
It's just absolutely surreal. I use that word a lot when I describe working on this game.
Seems just
and
like
to work with
frantic
like Sony and work with Marvel.
music, like,
and
oh, I got an
that
objective,
feeling is
gotta
felt
go quick.
by so many Insomniacs. So we couldn't be prouder.
Obviously,
And the support we've
Kenshin.
gotten across the board, not only from Sony, Marvel, but also the fans, has been spectacular.
Brian, it just looks incredible. I mean, there's no other word for it. And
you're flabbergasted.
I really am. It's stunning. I mean, just look at that. How can you not be blown away by that? But we do have a limited amount of time here, Brian. You're an industry veteran. You've been in the industry for a long time. I know this is a
does look
lifelong
good
dream
though.
for you working
So
on this game.
I'm glad to see
and
that
I
they're
want to
showing
thank you and
the
Insomniac for making
raw
it.
gameplay right now.
And for coming by as well.
Spider-Man was so awesome that it broke my mic, and I have to use the stick mic now.
I thought you just wanted to look different from all of
Yeah,
us.
I just wanted to stand out a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, Sid, actually, I think a little late,
Maybe that audio stuff
we
we
were able
heard
to
had
maybe
something
get
to do
some
with this
footage
mic
of
breaking.
some of the
That's
amazing
right.
experiential stuff that's going on with Spider-Man.
I mean, there really is something incredible going on here at this PlayStation E3 showcase. I mean, it's on a scale and a scope that we have just never seen before. And so we have people here, they're playing the game.
This,
we have a lot of hands-on sessions for folks that are here for the showcase. And
the
just
showcase
the
itself
game looks
wasn't,
great, but I just love the way this whole. Oh, I know that. I know her.
Oh, there's familiar faces popping up on the stream.
But I mean, it's just it's a great event here, and it's just I wish we could get everybody in here to try this out and to just see what has been sort of constructed. With Spider-Man and with actually another game we're about to talk about.
Yeah, we're about to talk about Ghost of Tsushima.
Why don't you? Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
We have some. We sneakily snuck on a few amazing people onto our program as a helicopter goes by to mark this amazing moment. Nate Fox and Jason Connell to my left and Nate Fox.
I think they're just going to talk about it. They're just going to talk about it. We're going to end it here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. It's really good for you to be here, and I'm so glad you're able to give us some of your time.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, kind of what we were just talking about with the team from Insomniac? What's it like for you as individuals and as developers to be able to kind of be a part of
more of it.
Of all of this?
It's amazing. I mean, you try so hard to make a video game that you can get lost in, and then to come to E3 where they actually build your game. It's kind of a dream come true that way.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh man, it's amazing. You know, people are excited. You know, you see all the other projects, and everybody's just stoked about all the different games are up there, and you know, we put a lot of heart and soul into it. So it's just that moment where it shows it is just great. So
I think we should show it because we have some of the footage.
I think we do have a little bit of footage hanging around here, so let's check it out. If we can
absolutely. Just hanging around.
Just doing its thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this game, first of all, just gorgeous. I mean, the art direction is really coming through in an incredible way, but also the technical sophistication as well. I mean, we're going to see here in a minute. Here we go. There we go. Get into some combat.
Yeah, we have some highlights from the showcase just showing off for the first time.
So, in general, this conference much more low key than in previous years. This seems to be common, sort of with all the E3 stuff so far. EA Play, I guess I think they tried to go big, but their conference was a whole lot of nothing, basically. We only had, as I've said before, Anthem and basically just Anthem and Unravel 2. Nothing else was really significant. I guess Sea of Solitude maybe, because I hadn't seen anything from that game yet. That's just a small little indie title. Didn't really interest me too much. Microsoft, though, they definitely went the biggest so far. But even then, I mean, Bethesda, though, actually had a pretty good showing. Because despite Walmart Canada leaking a lot of stuff, they still had a lot of new information about Fallout 76. You know, something like the Wolfenstein Youngblood was out of the blue for me. And there's Wolfenstein Cyberpilot as well as a VR game. And then the Prey updates seem really substantial. And then Doom Eternal. So I think there's still a lot of stuff that they were able to keep secret. So I think right now, I mean, I'd probably have to give it to Bethesda. But outside of that, then, I mean, we're talking maybe... I mean, as I said, I haven't watched the Square Enix one or Ubisoft one yet, but I will be watching those in the coming days. And the Sony one was pretty... This one was pretty decent, too. I mean, once you know, as long as you can come to terms with the fact that they're not trying to, like, go really big like they have in previous years, you know, for what they had, it's pretty solid. But, I don't think they're going to be winning E3 this year. I'd probably put them at, like, they're either at 2 or 3. I don't know. I'll have to talk it over with some other people for this one because I'm not really sure how I'd rank these press conferences. I think I could probably do a letter grade, but I want also the letter grade to be kind of consistent in, like, ranking. And if I, you know, give 2 conferences the same letter grade, I want to be able to say, okay, well, maybe this one was a little bit better than that one for this reason, even though it got the same letter grade. So, I don't know, right now I'd probably be looking to give this one, like, probably like a B minus. Something. I'm not really a big fan of this talking to desk thing that they've been doing. I'm fine with, like, the smaller setting, though, but I mean, we might be talking a little bit more like a B or B plus, but I think Bethesda's, I was thinking like B or B plus for that, and Microsoft is probably like maybe a B minus, something like that. I'll think these over again, but yeah, so decent showing from Sony this year, and definitely looking for, out of all these games though, which one do I want to see the most? or more of. Probably just Ghost of Tsushima. Like, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'd also like to see more of Death Stranding, but of course that game I anticipate is still at least a couple years off. It might be something that might come like late 2019, who knows? But I'm kind of on board with. I think maybe it's probably about gonna come out around the same time as Cyberpunk, so we're talking maybe like spring 2020, or maybe even later than Cyberpunk, like fall 2020. I mean, Cyberpunk could come out that late too, but if I had to predict an exact time, I'm guessing like the 3rd or 4th week of May 2020. So, for Cyberpunk. But of course that's unrelated to Sony. So, Sony, not bad. Okay. I should just end it here before I start rambling too much. So, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned to the other E3 coverage coming up this week.